Hi boys and girls, welcome to your video on classifying triangles by their angles. What I'm going to first do is just kind of quickly review the different types of angles that we discussed in our last unit. So again, an acute angle is an angle whose measure is greater than 0 but less than 90. So which of these angles are not acute? If you guessed 2 and 5, then you are correct. Number 1, number 3, number 4 are all less than 90, so they're acute angles. A right angle is an angle that measures up to 90 degrees exactly. So out of these examples, which angle is exactly 90 degrees or is a right angle? And if you guess number 2, then you are correct. Number 2 is exactly 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is an angle that measures greater than 90 but less than 180 degrees. So which of these is an obtuse angle? Number 5 is an obtuse angle because the measure is greater than 90 but less than 180 degrees. And then just a quick review of a straight angle. A straight angle is an angle that forms a line, which is 180 degrees. So which of these is not a straight angle? If you guessed number 2, you are correct. Number 2 is a ray, and it only goes in one direction, so therefore it is not considered an angle. So let's look at a couple different types of triangles based on their angles. The first kind of triangle is what's called a right triangle. A right triangle only has one right angle, which is 90 degrees. And typically the box indicated in the corner is going to symbolize that this is a right triangle, which is 90 degrees. An acute triangle is when all of the angles are less than 90. So in this example here, we have a triangle that's 20 degrees, or an angle that's 20, and these two angles are 80. Therefore, this is an acute triangle. All of the angles are less than 90 degrees. Then we have an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle is when one angle is less than 90, or greater than 90, but less than 180. So in this case here, 110 is between 90 and 180. Therefore, this is an obtuse angle, and it makes it an obtuse triangle. This is what we call an equiangular triangle. This is when all of the angles have the same measure. So this is a 60, 60, 60 triangle. And from our last video, as discussed, this also indicates that all the sides have the same length. So all of the angles and all of the sides are the same. So let's visit your graphic organizer to talk more specifically about these types of triangles. So again, a right triangle is when one of the angles measures to 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is draw a box in the corner of the triangle to symbolize that it is a right triangle. And we can write 90 degrees. An acute triangle is when all the angles are less than 90. So for example, this angle could be 20 degrees, and these two angles are both 80. That's 80. This is an example of an obtuse triangle because one of the angles is greater than 90 but less than 180, which in this case we can make this angle 110 degrees. And then the last type of triangle is what we call an equiangular triangle. All the angles have the same measure. And in this case, it's always going to be 60, 60, 60. So let me zoom out so you can see the triangle. So I want you to label each of these angles as 60 degrees. Okay, this concludes your video on classifying triangles by their angles. Again, a right triangle has one right angle. An acute triangle, all the angles are less than 90. In an obtuse triangle, one angle is obtuse or greater than 90, less than 180. And then equiangular triangle, all the angles are the same, as well as all the sides. This also can be classified as an acute triangle as well. All right, if you have any questions, come into class tomorrow with those questions, and we'll be doing a little activity based on these types of triangles. All right, have a good night.